Hey y'all, my name is Travis and welcome to Travis Brick's channel. So we're doing another set review quick. It's this one. It is set 71427. I'm super excited about this one because it has this awesome minifig, which I have not seen in person yet. And by seen in person, I mean I saw it at the store. I've not actually had one out yet. It comes in a couple different sets. I think maybe two sets, maybe three sets. But this is the cheapest of the sets that this minifig comes in. This is the Nightmare King. So I'm super excited to get to building this one. So far these have been pretty successful, so I'm gonna keep doing them. I have two more dream sets to do, so this one plus one more. So those are definitely coming in the next couple days, and then we'll move on to some other stuff. I got it in two vintage pirate sets that I am hoping to build on stream. So those will be coming soon as well as some video stuff. And I think my parts for my city are supposed to come in later on in the week. So hopefully next week will be some city updates. So that'll be fun. But let's get to building this guy, and make sure that if you like this stuff, make sure you like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more. So let's jump into this.
So there's surprisingly a low amount of stickers on this. There wasn't any of the freebie stickers that came with all the other Dream sets that I've done so far. So that was a little weird to me that it was just a small little sticker sheet of the ones that you need instead of some of the extra ones that they've been throwing in. So that was a little sad to see because I kind of liked all the little extra stickers. Um, this full build took me just over an hour, and I wasn't really in a rush, but I wasn't like slowing like in a slow pace. Um, so I would expect that to be true for just about anyone. Nothing too terribly crazy or different about the build. The bags are pretty evenly spaced out, and the figs are distributed throughout the bags. The one thing I didn't like about the specific building process is that the horse just kind of sits funny until you get all the legs on it. So I don't know if maybe like I wish that it would have waited until the final thing to add all the legs, but it just kind of sat funny, and I was always worried about dropping it and knocking it off. The one other thing that was kind of annoying is that the directions weren't always clear about which way the legs fold into the body. So I'm not sure what I would have rather saw Lego do to make that more clear. But it was definitely confusing on the front legs, especially.
All right, so I just finished building Pegasus Flying Horse, this dream set. It came with four figs, well, three and a half figs. So we got another Zoe. Can you see? Is that gonna focus? There we go. So we got another Zoe, which this is the exact same. I'm pretty sure this is the exact same. Maybe the other Zoe didn't have the cape. I'll need to look at that. Um, and then we got Nova with this super cool sloth print. Can you see that? Let's get the focus there. Super cool sloth print. This is a pretty cool hairpiece too. I like the little like I don't know. I kind of like hair because I don't have any. Um, but just kind of a cool hairpiece. Very cool print. It's got the little sleepy Z's for the sloth. So that's super cool. Um, and then we got another Susan. So this is just like the other Susan that we saw from Mr. Oz's Space Bus. Except it has a fork this time. I think its last time had a spear, but it has a fork this time. But the torso, the head print, all that's all still the same. And then we got the thing that I was the most excited about getting, and this is the Nightmare King. So the Nightmare King's got this super cool trans pink sword. This is actually attached. There's actually a stud behind this, and this is actually attached and printed. Um, he's got a pretty cool head too. Let me get some stuff out of the way here. So the headpiece is super cool itself, and then the actual printed head has two different heads as well. It's got that eye on the front too, and it's got this molded cape. So you might be familiar with the molded cape from Batman, and I think there's a Superman maybe, or there's another. There's a Marvel fig that has a molded cape too that I see all the time. Um, but it's very cool. It's got all the holes in it to make it look tattered. I like that it looks like it's kind of like blowing a little bit. So just a very cool cape piece. I'm really glad they went with molded. instead of cloth, because I don't think cloth would have got that same really cool blowing in the breeze effect. And let me get his sword back in his hand, and I'm going to put him back on the horse because I think that's where he belongs. Um, so some really cool figs. Definitely not as many as some of the other sets that we've seen so far, but it's mostly because there weren't a bunch of the little ones. Because that seems to be what a lot of the sets are filler for. But let's talk about the actual set itself. So there are, I'm going to say, four basic builds with this. As you saw in the video, you build this little cage thing first that has these little teeth. It's got that cool little printed, thank God, printed eye. Super cool color here. Um, my only complaint about this, so Nova is captured by the Nightmare King and its minions. And so Nova's supposed to go in here, but the problem is Nova doesn't fit standing up. So you have to sit Nova down, even though the picture on like the front of the box or whatever shows Nova standing up inside the cage. You have to sit her down to get her inside the cage, and then she, gets the fangs holder in there. Um, so cool, but I feel like if they would have just made these bars just a little bit longer, that would have solved that problem because it's not off by much. Um, so that's a little bit disappointing, but still kind of cool. Cool that you've placed to put Nova and kind of be in the spirit of things. And then we got the horse. But let's talk about something else with the horse though first. So before you build the horse body, you actually build this little like flying piece that unattaches from the horse. So when I first built this, I thought we were going to have to take parts of it back apart like we did um with the turtle van where you'd take the wheels back off to put the legs on. But the super cool thing about this, and by the way, the wings, have an articulated ball joint here, so you can do all kinds of crazy things. But the cool thing is that this literally just sits down. Oh, this is hard to do while holding. I did this much more successfully on the ground. Um, Let me put it down. This sits right on top of the horse, and the little arm pieces just kind of come down and wrap around the body. So that's super cool because I was kind of going to be annoyed if we had to take the whole thing apart again just to get the wings, or you would have this little random build that doesn't have part of it with it. I really don't like that. So it was really nice that it kind of all just nestles together. And then the horse is just super cool. There's lots of snot building in these legs, and I am always, excuse me, super impressed with snot building because I'm really not good at it. So the fact that, whoop, I just knocked the Nightmare King off. Um, so the fact that they were putting snot bricks going all different kinds of ways to get these complex shapes and to hide as many studs as possible is super cool. Um, the head is also articulated. It's got a super cool taking that eyepiece is actually a printed one by one brick. Um, so you get two of those in the set, which is super cool. You get this piece, which is typically seen for like roofs and like thatched roofing. Specifically, I'm thinking like the top of the roof for the Lion Knight's castle. So that's a super cool color to see it in and to see it used as a main. That's really cool. These wings are just super fun. Oh man, I knocked the Nightmare King off again. I need to stop grabbing him by that. But the legs also move. It's got a super cool tail back here that is also articulating, and actually has quite a few points of articulation. So that's fun. Legs are also all moved and posable. So that's just was a really fun build. It wasn't too long, which is kind of nice, but just kind of fun. And then the last thing you build is this little contraption vehicle for Zoe to ride. Um, and I chose to build the bird version. There's also like a contraption that attaches to the back of Zoe, and works more like a backpack flying type deal. Um, but I kind of like the bird, so I built the bird stickered pieces, which again I don't understand. Some Lego obviously made a conscious decision to print the eyes for the horse, but not print the eyes for the bird. I don't quite understand. What were the sides of the horses were also stickered too. Again, they made a conscious decision to print some pieces um like all these like 2x2 round tile eyes are all printed. So obviously there was a discussion at Lego of what pieces to make printed and what pieces to make stickered. So they made a conscious decision to add stickers to this, even though there's a bunch of printed pieces already with it. So I don't quite know like who gets to make that decision, but I would really like to have a strongly worded conversation with them. Um, because I hate stickers. I'm gonna probably rant about stickers in every single video. It's just gonna happen. Probably because I'm really bad at it. Actually, I did pretty good on these, but still, um, it's just odd to me that what they choose to make stickered and what they don't. Some pretty cool pieces that I haven't seen before. I haven't seen these pieces before. They may be new. I don't remember seeing these pieces before, so they might be new, or at least new to this year. Maybe they're in some of the Friends sets. Seems like some of these more whimsical pieces come out of Friends sets first. But this was a super fun little build too. Um, so pretty great build. I feel like the build and the figs are pretty even on this, and for the price point, I think this was $59 maybe retail. Um, I bought it to get the Dreams gift with purchase before I bought a whole bunch of other stuff to get another Dreams gift with purchase. But anyways, this was the first one that I bought to get it, so I know it just barely cleared the threshold to get the gift with purchase. So it had to be somewhere around that price point. Um, but these are super fun little quick builds. Sorry, I'm gonna put Susan back on top of the horse too. I don't really have too many complaints about it. I think they're super fun. There's some great parts usage in this horse, like just great parts usage. There's barely any really um unpurposefully exposed studs. And even in this, which I almost dropped, the animal tails. I'm glad to see sets using more animal tails because that means they'll be more readily available for other things. So that's always a good sign too. Um, so yeah, I really enjoyed this build. It's a great price point. A lot of the dream sets have great price points, and I'm excited to build some more. Um, and yeah, so if you like this, make sure that you. Sorry, I'm fighting to get him back on there. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more videos. I have at least one more dream set in my backlog, and that'll be done probably pretty soon. And then we'll jump over to some other sets. Like I said in my intro to this, I got some vintage pirate sets in that I want to build. And who knows what else comes up. I tend to buy a lot of stuff. So you never know what's gonna come through the door. So make sure you like, subscribe, and stay tuned. And thanks for watching.